Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I just got a text and it says we are live now on the Mindset Show. How about that? How about that? Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It's Monday. It is Monday, and there's only just a handful of days before Christmas. Man, what a wonderful time of the year. I hope everybody's doing good this morning. My name is Chad Free, and I am a wealth strategist. I believe that true wealth is built from the inside out, that abundance. And it's truly anything that you value, an abundance of anything that you value. And I'm coming to you from just outside of Greenville, South Carolina, and always happy to be here with you guys. Brock and I are going to tag team a little bit later on in the second half of this show. But hope everybody's doing good. And before we get started, let's do some affirmations. Don't you say it unless you mean it. If you need to read it first. If you need to read it first before you need to realize if you're going to say it or not, I'll give you a minute. All right? Okay, that's long enough. All right, everybody come off mute and let's just hear that beautiful harmony. All right, on three. 1, 2, 3.
I am
created on
on
purpose, on purpose,
You are
for a
created
purpose.
on purpose,
On purpose, for a purpose.
On purpose, for purpose. Purpose. All right, good morning, everybody. We want to talk today about who are you? Do you know who you are? Like, really? Do you know who you are? Have you gone all in on you, on finding out who you are and what you stand for and what your mission is? Because listen, if you just said that you're created on purpose for purpose, and I'm created on purpose for purpose, purpose means there's a mission. You don't have to have the whole shooting match all figured out and see. That ain't the way it works, right? We all wish that we would see, okay, we're going to go up here and then we're going to make a left and then we're going to make a right. And then after that, that ain't how it works. It's literally one step at a time. One step at a time. And because the reason behind that is sometimes we have to go through crap and crud to equip us. So we are learning along the way. It's a journey. But I want to ask you, what is your mission? And you may not know your mission. But again, let's go back to the affirmation. Are you putting any time and effort in trying to figure out what your mission is? So I'm going to start changing it up a bit, because a lot of people, when I talk about purpose, they automatically put it into their vocation or occupation and stuff like that. Well, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know if I should be a teacher or what. The platform that you're on right now is for a reason. You're where you are right now for a particular reason. And I believe that you can bring purpose to that platform. All right. And so I'll ask the question. I even got it wrote down here. Sherry says, I like it when you don't have nothing wrote down. I got just a couple things wrote down. All right. Just a couple bullet points to jar my memory. Who would say that Brock is just existing? Put a 5 in the chat if you think Brock is just existing in this life. I'm going to see if anybody, everybody's paying attention this morning, right? I believe that Brock is on a mission. Does he have it all figured out? Nope. I don't think he really gives us an indication that he does have it figured out. But he is on a mission. Put a 5 in the chat if you think I'm on a mission. All right, cool. Good. I don't have it all figured out either, but I'm on a mission. I was put here on earth for a mission. So it's my responsibility to step into that and seek out what I was created for. Now, I know I sound like a broken record, but here's the deal. You have to go, if you truly want to make an impact on people, if you want the best for your family, you got to go in on you. For the first part of my life, I went all in on my family. But I didn't go all in on me. And I was giving them the best. I'm sorry. I was giving the hustle the best, and my family was getting the rest of me. See, I wasn't working on me. I was just existing with energy. I was wondering and wondering. I felt like, okay, if I just ran faster on this hamster wheel, things would work out, right? We all have a purpose. Yes, we do. We have a purpose. But again, it's up to us to seek out what that is. Take time and just start focusing. Hey, God, what am I here for? Why am I here? Now, I got something to tell you here, and it's kind of funny. And I really don't know if this even, I tried my best to take this illustration and make it, fit into this. And I don't know if it fits or not, okay? But I just think it's cool. I heard it at church yesterday. And so I'm going to try to make it fit. All right. Queen Elizabeth years ago, and I might have a couple of names wrong, but Queen Elizabeth years and years and years ago went out for a walk. She didn't have her crown on or nothing like that. It was her and her, bodyguard. And he was kind of in normal clothes too. And I can't remember if the guy's name was Richard or Robert or Ricky or Randy. I don't know. His name probably wasn't Randy. All right. But anyway, they're out walking, just a normal walk, looking like normal people. And you can meet somebody and just not know exactly who they are. Anyway, these people were walking up, some tourists. They just happened to be Americans, right? And as they were passing, they said, "Hey, how are you? Have you ever met Queen Elizabeth?" And Queen Elizabeth said, "No, I haven't. But Richard has. Richard sees her every day." And they're like, "Oh my goodness, really, really? Will you take a picture of us and Richard? Because we would love to take a picture with somebody that's actually met Queen Elizabeth, much less meets her or sees her every day." And so Queen Elizabeth herself took a picture of those Americans and Robert Randy. All right. And then after Robert Randy was done, he said, "Okay, let me get a picture with y'all too." All right. So he got Queen Elizabeth in there, took a picture, and then they went on their way. "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And when they walked away, Queen Elizabeth said, "I sure hope somebody down the road will tell them who I am." Again, I don't know how that fits in this story. I was going to say it no matter what. All right. Whatever we were talking about. But I think you should know who you are so much that you're a walking billboard. I think a lot of people that know me, they think of purpose. I think that's what people tell me anyway. They think of purpose driven. So I really think that it's important. I think it's important that you go all in on who you are and your mission. And I want to encourage you. I said this last week. I think Joseph actually commented, if you're still here, you're still breathing, you still have a purpose and a mission. So with that being said, I think is Brock back on? Maybe there he is. Brock, you back on, buddy?
I'm back at home. Back at home now.
Good
Got
deal.
done drop off. I got drop off done.
Awesome. So what we want to talk to you about is one way that you can work on yourself, pursue your mission, try to figure out who you are. Obviously, is spending time alone with God and be quiet. Sometimes, we think prayer is just one way. We pray, amen. I think that's almost like a check mark. You know what I mean? Okay, I prayed this morning. Okay, I'm good. Just be still. Be still, and he'll speak to you when you're truly seeking him. But another thing to do is go to events that are created to help you become your better self. Self-development, things like these morning calls. You know what? John Hart will tell you, it's crazy the amount of money that I have spent to get in the room and just spend time with people. And for people that don't understand that, I don't even want to tell you. I don't even want to tell you how much I paid. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. All right, it's ridiculous. But when you believe in yourself, you can see, hey, yes, I want to get in the room with that. I want to go all in. Okay, $25,000 for one day to spend with this person to truly have this focus. Look at there, I slipped up and told you. I did it. But I believed in myself. I needed help. Sometimes you can't see the picture when you are stuck inside the frame. Help me out. I got a big mission and it's a mess. How can I get it pulled out? How can I get this chaos in order and channel it so I can get on about my mission? That's what I did. And I'm so glad I did it, guys. I'm so glad I did it. So getting in the right rooms, having that community, networking with the right people, it's huge. So Brock, I know that people probably are wondering, why do you put on some kind like this kind of event? And what are you thinking doing this during Christmas time and trying to take on all that? So what's the method behind your mission and madness and all that good stuff? Talk to me.
It's it's funny you even
Getting a
say
double
that.
dose of Brock today, guys.
It like literally this past week, I was just thinking about like, why the hell am I doing this around Christmas? Like, what is going on? And unfortunately, what happens, I don't know about you all, but when you're overtired, when you have a lot of things on your plate, and when things come out of nowhere. So this past weekend, my daughter has the flu. We had to go to the doctors yesterday. We had to do a strep test, flu, COVID. And I was like, could you do Bryce? Because it's just a matter of time till Bryce gets it. As you probably already saw, I got 3 dogs with me. I'm dog sitting. So I got my ex-wife's dog, I got my girlfriend's dog, and I got my dog. I'm not even a dog person to begin with. And here I am doing this. And then Brielle gets sick. Sleep is very limited. Bryce wants to continue to play because he's still a 7-year-old son. And I just looked at my list of things that I got because our summit is in a month. And I'm not going to lie to you, Chad. I was looking at my Christmas gifts. I'm like, okay, I got to get these gifts. I was hoping and praying that the New York Jets would finally do something good. They got their blown out. So like everything that really is not going for me is not going for me. And I look back and I'm like, damn, we got a month left. I still have to sell tickets. I still got people in the hotel. And I think if you all remember when I went to Key West, right before the Key West, I had this exact moment. It was in May, and I sat outside, and some of you might remember my story. Like right now, I'm looking at double versions of me. I'm like, oh gosh, here I am twice because my internet is still not where it can be. So I was like, I can't have an excuse of not having internet, so I have to do it on my phone while I'm wearing it. Like all these things. Who am I talking to right now that we think more about our problems, we think more about all the things aren't going the right way, and I'm in it. I'm in the weeds bad. And I remember the moment when I sat outside and I said a prayer to God before the Key West and said, God, am I burning the boats or am I coming up with an excuse about Key West? Which one is it? Because I need to know because I got about a month left. And see, when Chad said, you got to get in the rooms. Sometimes you have to get in the rooms and think about things you don't want to do. You got to get in the rooms and be like, that is not the direction I want. I wrote down the word clarity, Chad, when you were talking. I said, sometimes these moments have to give you clarity. So the moment that I had in May resurfaced on what's helping me this past weekend because I kept saying to myself, Chad, this is tough right now. I'm like, I got a month out. I got about $15,000 worth of expenses for this event that I got to still figure out. I got to get more butts in seats. I got Christmas. Like when I hear the Christmas countdown, I get a little nervous. I'm like, how many more days till Christmas? I'm like, damn. And so I was listening to a football announcer yesterday, and one of the football coaches said what he did to his team to transform his team turnaround. He says, you know what? I had a team meeting. And he says it's conviction over perfection. Conviction over perfection. He goes, I've never had anybody in the entire time that any football game has ever been played that it was a perfect game. But I can tell you that we had belief in ourselves. We were determined. We had purpose. We had every freaking thing you possibly can imagine, just like you said, Chad, that we had conviction. And so I said to myself, because I listened to it Sunday afternoon, I said, Brock, do you got conviction? I don't aim for perfection, but I do because when I say that all is because I'm one of those people that just throw it at the wall and figure it out as we go. But I'm gonna share this one thing to you, Chad, and to those listening. I wrote this down starting yesterday. Whether you like the guy or not, I really like Tom Brady. We're about the same age. He's a year older than me, so I relate a lot of stuff to him except our bank accounts. But he said this, and our athletic ability. Let's just be honest with that. But he said this when like the littlest things, and I wrote down this attention to detail. Attention to detail. Today, before I came out to the show, as I'm running around, Brielle, I had to get her cough medicine and like do this. The dogs are everywhere. It's just like it's chaos. It's not my normal routine. I said this to Cody. I see him on here. I said, you have some options. No matter how tired I am, no matter what takes place. I did this on Saturday morning where Dee was there. I said when I had to do the dials for dollars, I'm a very big believer of shutting up and showing up. There's no excuse that's going to allow me any grace right now. So just shut up, Brock, and just show up. And I feel very strongly, and I have conviction with that. And it goes down to the attention to detail. And so some of you out here, I'm just going to call you out for those that are not on video, whatever your excuse may be. Typically when you're not on video, it's like I'm prepping, I'm getting ready. Unless you're naked, I don't want to see any naked bodies. But I say this because there was a moment this morning that I put a sweatshirt on, Chad, And for those of you who wear sweatshirts, I'm not being negative to you. This is how I think. And I had a sweatshirt on because I said to myself, I'm really tired. I'm going to have to take care of Brielle. It's raining outside. It's cold outside. I'm just going to put a sweatshirt on today to get through my day. But you know what, Chad? That was me. That was me letting the bar down just a tad, just a small, little, teeny, little thing. Because if I wear a sweatshirt, it makes me feel like it's the weekend. And when it's the weekend, I don't operate the same way on the weekend as I do on a work day. Yes or yes, I'm talking to somebody here that we just work at a different level on a weekend. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, at the level that I want to play at, that I want to be at, what is the difference for me? It's the attention to detail. So when Tom Brady was talking about when playing in the cold, he had to have 5 heat packs in his little pouch. But then the heat was getting out on the other side, so he made sure that one side of the pouch was closed off so his throwing hand could operate at a different temperature, because if his hand was a little too cold, he couldn't grip the ball. If he couldn't grip the ball, he couldn't throw with accuracy. And do you have to have accuracy in the NFL? You better believe it. That's attention to detail. So when I had that sweatshirt on, I said, here I am yesterday saying my little, I'm going to be attention to detail. Yet I wanted to put on a silly, stupid sweatshirt. I said, nope. You get your tail, you go back upstairs, you go get your button down shirt, you can wear a nice little sweater, and you go show up and you shut up. So when it comes time for a live event, why is it different? Because when you see a Chad Free, when you see a Rebecca, me, and you embrace with ourselves, you get synergy, you get energy, and it's just totally different. So it is the little things. Fran that's on here. Welcome, Fran, because Fran made a commitment, not only in my coaching program, but she's like, I get my tail up early, and she texts me at 5 o'clock. Latrice texts me at 4:30. Guys, you think those little things don't mean anything? They do. You operate differently. You come with conviction. So if there's anything that I share with you today, the difference between last 6 months ago in May, do I still think about just shutting it down and quitting? You better believe it. That's just part of life. But do you rise up? Do you come with conviction? Do you become a badass? And are you like, you know what? I'm going to pay attention to the detail when I'm tired, when I'm fatigued, when things aren't going my way, when you lose a deal, when things are going sideways, when I want to wear a sweatshirt. It's just me in my head because I want it really, really bad. Because like you said, Chad Free, you better believe it. You and I, we're on a mission. And our mission is to help other people along the way. And those of you get a choice to be able to do it. And I'll end with this, Chad, and I'll let you. So I looked at my calendar 8 years ago around this time period. My first 2 years of my drinking process, I was embarrassed. I was trying to find myself. I didn't want to admit to anybody. I was hiding really, not to say the closet, Chad, but I was hiding. I didn't want to go out in the open because I was nervous, because I didn't trust myself in making decisions. But I knew I wanted something bigger and better. And I remember Wendy was not in the office. Wendy was actually my team leader at one point at Keller Williams. And I wasn't, not too many people actually know this story. And so I was getting ready for my new year business plan. How many of you started working on your 2026 business plan? Well, I was working on mine, and I was looking at my numbers, and I wanted to do 277 transactions that year. Well, I went in, Wendy wasn't there, so this other lady was filling in, and this is how God works. Never really talked to this lady, maybe twice in my entire life. I went in there and I said, excuse me, my name is Brock. She's like, oh yes, come on in. I said, I'm working on my business plan, and I wanted to see who in the Charlotte area is doing any events or anything special. I didn't know anything about events. I just knew I needed to get in a room in some capacity, because I used to watch a lot of film for football. And so I was just like, well, maybe there's somebody I can watch or see. And I said, I want to do 277 transactions, and these are my goals and what I want to do. And she says to me, she says, I don't know anybody around here doing them. I'm like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? All right. She's like, you know what you need to do? You're going to have to go to a friend of mine that I know. And for those of you, when I say this name, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to have to go see this guy by the name of Jeff Glover. And Jeff Glover is in Michigan, and he does over 1,000 transactions a year. I'm like, 1,000? I just was thinking 277. But you need to go to that event to do that up there if you want to do what you want to do. Guys, I don't have a pot to piss in. My car that I was driving wasn't registered for 2 years because I couldn't afford it. So I had to take Laura's car, my wife at the time. I said, I need to take your car. She's like, okay, sure. Where are you going? 12 hours from here in the north in January to Michigan. What? I said, yeah. So I got my car. I maxed out my credit cards to go to this event. Okay. See, I had conviction that where I needed to be, the feeling that I need to have, that nothing was going to get in the way. And if this lady said to me that I need to get into these rooms to do what I want to do, then that's what I got to do. And some of us have excuses that get in our way and think that it's some big, huge wall. Think about your excuse you had last year, 5 years ago, 3 years. I guarantee it's not there anymore. So when I maxed out my credit cards, took my ex-wife's car up there, guess what? I'm still alive. Not only did I go up there all, I became Jeff Glover's #1 first ever coaching client he ever took. To this day, him and I still engage with each other. And to this day, I could say with certainty and conviction that he transformed my life. That I would not be here today if it wasn't for that. Didn't have a pot to piss in. I didn't have a window to throw it out. I did everything and anything I could to be able to be there. And so I challenge you, for those of you listening in today, what excuses are you creating in your head? Because they sound really good to the person who creates them. Change your creation from excuses into conviction, and I promise you, your life will change. Pay attention to the details, the smallest little thing. Some of you might go change your sweatshirt today. I don't know. But to me, that's what makes the difference and why I want to show up and shut up and help out. So Chad Free, that's what I got, brother. I know I spoke too much, but that's, you know how it is with me.
Hey, no, great, great, great. All right, guys. Well, you heard it. We just want to encourage you to go all in on you. Go all in on you because you were created on purpose for a purpose. And let me just say this. I get yayed up, right? And when I talk about purpose, don't relate the yayed up to purpose because you might not, oh, I can't be like that. I can't be yayed up like that. Ain't necessarily purpose. That's just my purpose. See, I didn't know that I would be speaking like this and talking and running my mouth all the time. All right. Everybody's got a purpose. And so I want you to pursue yours. Guys, I appreciate you letting me spend my time with you. Brock, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. And guys, go have a great day. Be all that you can be. And just remember, God loves you and you're created on purpose for a purpose. See you.
Thank you.
Bye, all. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
See you in Nashville.